We are live here on YouTube. YouTube, bro.
Not only are we knocking on the door, we kicked it down, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live. This is On the Money podcast. It's not our first episode, but it's the first official inaugural episode on YouTube. We will remember this forever, ladies and gentlemen. On the Money podcast, Thursday night football, ladies and gentlemen. Dolphins and Houston Texans going on in the background. Live reaction, talking NFL, NBA, all over the league, ladies and gentlemen. Not only that, but we know that it's hard to be a dedicated sports fan these days because when you click on the tube, you go on the major channels, you only hear about the same 2 or 3 teams. Here at On the Money Sports, we travel the world of sports, talk about every team because it takes all the teams to make up these immortal leagues. We are the immortal mega powers of podcasting. And sitting next to me is the 5-time ACW champion, ladies and gentlemen, Oscar O. Money.
Ladies and gentlemen, when one outcome isn't going your way, there's other ways to get what you want. Facebook Live isn't treating On the Money Sports well these last couple of weeks, but YouTube is. So maybe it's time that something we've been putting off, we are now doing today.
Hey, first day for everything, first time for everything. We were a little hesitant to make the jump, and now we have been forced to make the jump to the big times.
Until we take care of issues with Facebook.
The sports gods were letting us know, listen, On the Money podcast, On the Money Sports, you guys are over. You don't have to do or perform your moves in the bingo halls anymore. You need to rent out the Nassau Coliseum, put 80,000 seats in there, and sell each and every ticket only the way you...
Whoa!
So we are here now live, ready to talk to you guys about all the latest going on. If this is your first time watching, we thank you. If you are listening on SoundCloud, iTunes, or the official On the Money Sports website, as always, we thank you. And for all our newcomers, I should say, sorry, got all my words twisted because I'm so excited. Welcome to On the Money podcast. What a week we have. Like I said, we were going to talk to you about what happened in this past week, a bunch of very close games in the NFL. We have a very, very interesting Week 8 setup, including our On the Money picks. Just when I thought I had a little bit of a on this guy, things have evened back up. We'll see if we're able to gain some separation, kind of like how some of your favorite receivers need to do against opposing defenses. Oscar Money, where do we start here?
First things first, we need to talk about the first week of the NBA is in the books.
Yeah, officially.
Absolutely. Teams that we expected big things are struggling right now out of the gates.
Big time.
The Lakers, the Sixers, the Rockets. Even Boston's 2-2 right now.
Yeah.
These teams were expected to be a lot better than what we're seeing right now. We knew the Los Angeles Lakers, but they can't stop anybody either. They're averaging 126 through the first 3. Their opponents are averaging 127.
Yeah, they can't stop anybody right now.
LeBron's not playing defense. But I don't expect him to. He's not as young as he used to be. That's why I got those other young boys to go do it.
They're one of the worst defenses in the league right now. They can't make any threes. They are stopping everybody from scoring. They're trying to figure out who's going to play what role. You've got the post-fight dramatics have happened with Rondo, the suspension that they're serving right now. Lonzo Ball's looking a little bit better, but again, Lakers just won their first game of the season. It's early in the year, but early enough to see that there are some key gaping holes missing in some of these teams that had a lot of the attention on them in the offseason. So that's going to be an interesting thing to keep track of. Again, it's week 1. Maybe I'm overreacting a little bit, but as a Houston Rockets fan, you know, when you had a team that was so defensively stout a year before and you look at the team they have now, you can't help but see some of the differences and worry to yourself, like, are these going to be some of the glaring issues? Am I seeing the real version of my team, or are they going to be able to clean this up? Or is this going to be just a recap? Is this how they're going to look at the end of the year around April, May? So we're definitely going to keep our eyes on that. Toronto, undefeated right now. with Kawhi Leonard and those Raptors.
That isn't shocking because we all knew the East has a big gaping hole with the departure of LBJ to the West. So the East is wide open. We just got to see who's going to go in there and take control.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it going to be Boston? We'll see. Is it going to be the Boston Celtics? Is it going to be the Philadelphia 76ers, who have been off to a very slow start? It seems like big name players are going up against Philly and having big time games, like when Blake Griffin dropping 50 points yesterday.
Blake Griffin.
No, not yesterday, 2 nights ago. And then you got the
50.
Greek Freak who went and got a triple-double in a comeback win by the Bucks against the Sixers. There's a lot to figure out. In their case, it's for Philly, as far as what I've seen so far in the couple games that I've watched, they're missing Ilyasova. They're missing Bellinelli, those 2 corner pocket shooters that were go-to guys for Ben Simmons once he breaks down the defense by driving. It's just they don't have enough of they have a power punch, but it's like they don't have a good follow-up counter punch. You know what I mean? They don't have a counter punch. That's what their issue is. They got a power punch and no counter punch right now. It's costing them games. It cost them a lead that they had.
Starting.
I
know what you're trying to do, but no.
The whole Fultz experiment is, I don't know what else you're waiting for, guys. He's pretty much showing you he's either not ready, he's not capable, he's a liability on the court. And when you compare the 2 conferences, you would say the East is more winnable, but they're not even winning games within their conference.
I agree.
So that's another interesting thing to keep tabs on. Not too much of a hot start on either of our teams.
Oh, not at all.
I'm saying right now, with the team that I have right now, we look like a team that's going to get eliminated in the first round. They're not playing any defense. You got PJ Tucker playing the 5 spot, which isn't always going to work in your favor, if ever. Way too undersized. But then breaking news today, after this 1-3 start, maybe the Houston Rockets were listening to me. I've been telling you guys for a couple of days, there are rumors that have been reignited, more than just rumors, more than just speculation.
Tell me about the rumors.
Jimmy Butler, apparently the Houston Rockets are renegotiating a new deal, including Jimmy Butler, which would include the Rockets giving up 4 first-round draft picks in the future drafts. 4 picks for one guy. They're giving up their future. When you really think about it, it makes sense. CP3, big max deal. Capella, big max deal. They're locking in players to win a championship right now. You still got James Harden, who just got the max 2 years ago. So we're looking at these teams now, and big time move. I've been said that we needed to make something happen. The lack of defense. I miss Trevor Ariza. I miss Matabute. The fact that we can go out there and possibly get Jimmy Butler in the mix, who is a better defensive player, a better two-way player overall, I think that would be huge for us. That would put us over the top, and that would help us compete with Golden State, if not be able to beat them finally. Am I crazy for saying that?
Not at all. They need to make that move. Because this,
we have
like, it's like Chris Broussard said the other day on Undisputed. This ain't the East where you can wait till December to get this figured out.
No, not at all.
By the time Christmas hits, you could be fighting for an A seed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So this is going to be very interesting, very, very interesting, because you got the Nuggets 4-0. Like, what is that?
And of all teams, the Nuggets are actually playing defense, so it shows you, it's going to be tough this year. It's going to be tough this year. This ain't going to be no cakewalk. And again, the slow starts could mean one thing, but at the end of the day, these are games that later in the year we're not going to be able to afford to lose. We're going to be playing catch up. We're out in the West, and we need something. If anything, we need that. We need that response punch, and a guy like Jimmy Butler who can play the wing defensively, who can guard the guys day in and day out, like your Durants and your Leonards. You don't have to worry about being undersized. We're already a little thin as far as centers go. So we add another forward in there, go with a little bit of a smaller lineup, maybe have Jimmy go as far as to play a number 4 at times when needed. I think it makes perfect sense for our team. I think that he would fit in just fine because if anybody's been watching Houston basketball, you know that every year it's a revolving door of new players coming in and out. MCW does not fit. I don't want him there. I want him gone. So if anybody would like to take him off our hands, he can go back to Philly for all I care. I'd love that. That would be amazing.
You're wishing for things that aren't going to come true.
I mean, I don't see where he fits, man. He just looks awkward. He looks unorthodox.
Melo dropped 22.
He dropped 22, but Donovan Mitchell dropped 38. He was killing us, dude.
Donovan Mitchell's a very good ball player.
He was killing us.
He's a very good ball player.
And that is a top 3 team right there. As of right now, the Jazz don't even have to make any moves. They just have to watch their team grow. The Rockets don't really have that luxury. It's like I was telling you before we went live. The Rockets need a player that they can groom. You've got Chris Paul, the veteran. You've got Harden, veteran in his prime at the moment. Capella, who's about to hit his prime. You need that next young guy that can come off the bench and be like our version of what a Josh Hart is to LA. You know, when your big guys, your big names are taking a seat.
Okay.
To move with the ball, to develop a player in the system. That's something I haven't seen in the last couple of years, which has been an issue for me. Rockets have been spending a lot of money, but they haven't really been developing players within their system. And they're
on this one.
Of course, this is Rondo 16 in 5 years. So he did it when he came back. Moves are going to get made last minute, and those guys are making shots, whether it's or somebody coming in retired in that season.
Agreed.
Or somebody coming in retired in that season.
Agreed. That's a whole dynamic. It's weird because all those players on the Lakers team right now. It's probably going to be back to LeBron. Everybody's expendable after the season.
Yeah, everybody's leaving. Still got the young guys, but we already talked about that second option that the amount of hype they have around Ingram is securing his spot with LA right now because they want to groom him to be that Scottie Pippen. Lonzo, the Jordan Lonzo. But to his credit, he has been playing better than last year. He's from a mature game. He's stepped into basketball right now. And if it came down to it, if anything, the other night, he was one of the first and only guys to hit a three-pointer. That's one of their biggest issues last weeks. So we thank you guys for doing us. We're going to have audios for you to be made by your NBA in order for you guys to get a couple of more wins. This defense yet? Figure it out.
Absolutely. Only other question for the NBA season: they're going to be the only piece that's getting traded. Do you think Jimmy Butler honestly is traded before the trade deadline, or do you
involved in this situation? Probably got wind of what the Rockets offering, and they might up the ante back out. That people and say, "Hey, that's," and the Rockets may be the last man standing as far as the deal. Sure, I heard Miami was interested. There's a couple of teams interested. It's one of the other teams. Because the problem is, whatever Jimmy Butler chooses to do, by the start of next season, New York will have the money for the body. They're going to have the money that they need to make the deal happen. So it's all about where he wants to go and how those teams are going to be setting themselves up to try to attract him. Like when LeBron was first available out inside me, guys start moving around. You start making a case by showing here. This is what we got going on here. Could work.
That would be interesting.
This is the pre-Carmelo nightmare that happened in New York. That is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be back in a couple. Yeah. You notice how bad the
share it on here. It was cool to see that we were live. Just
Ain't this?